Welcome back to Video Game News. And quickly, if you're curious, the music I chose today for this edition for the 13th of September is music from the indie game To the Moon. So, with that said, first up, quickly mention a couple of things. Some awesome deals if you have a Wii U or you're thinking about getting a Wii U. This is just a quick rundown of some great games that you can only get on the Virtual Console on the Wii U. So, quickly, first up, this is 13 games I highly recommend checking out on the Wii U Virtual Console. And these are 13 great Nintendo 64 games which are not available on any other Nintendo console, at least as of last time I checked. So you have, first up, Paper Mario for $9.99, which is far more expensive if you want physical for the N64. Also, Mario Kart 64, also $9.99. All but one of these games is $9.99. Next, you also have Donkey Kong 64, the original version of Pokemon Snap, Yoshi's Story, F-Zero X, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Mario Tennis, Ogre Battle 64, Wave Racer 64, Mario Golf, $10.80 Snowboarding. And the only one that is actually a little bit more, which is $11.99, is Sin and Punishment. A very unique game, to say the least. If you're all curious, seriously, if you have a Wii U, or you're thinking you want to hear some great games you can get while the Virtual Console is still working for the Wii U, I definitely recommend looking at any of these games given the price, and they won't take up that much memory on your internal memory drive. Or also always just get a memory card and add more. Also, 13 great games I suggest picking up on the Wii. Or rather, 13 great Wii games on the Wii U. First up, Mario Super Sluggers for $19.99. Pikmin 2 for $19.99. Super Mario Galaxy 2, $19.99. Lost in Shadow, which is a great indie game, for $19.99. Punch-Out, $19.99. Metroid Other M, which is a game I defend, $19.99. Also, Mario Strikers Charge, again, $19.99. Original Pikmin, $19.99. WarioWare Smooth Moves, $19.99. Pandora's Tower, $19.99. Super Paper Mario, again, $19.99. Mario Sports Mix, $19.99. And last, Metroid Prime Trilogy for $19.99. Those are just some great digital games you can get right now. This is more of a Nintendo-themed edition of Video Game News, but just thought people should know about these games. If you have the opportunity to get them on the Virtual Console, take advantage right now. Also, we recently got a trailer for the animated in the works film Injustice Gods Among Us. Trailer dropped recently. Looks good. though I'm not sure how it's going to do measuring up to the actual story mode. With pretty, for the most part at the time, solid CGI, but I'm still going to give the animated film a shit. Also, PlayStation acquires Firesprite, the studio behind Playroom and Playroom VR. Also, gotta look at Hellraiser, or also known as Pinhead, has arrived as a new DLC character and stuff in Dead by Daylight. Also, next, Mass Effect could revert back to using Unreal Engine instead of EA's Frostbite engine. Also, Alan Wake Remastered is coming this fall, and for the first time ever, it's going to be available on PlayStation, PS4, and PS5. I've played the game before, but I'm looking forward to a remastered version. Also, HBO Max launches in Europe countries this October. So if anybody in Europe has been looking forward to HBO Max for the amount of good quality content, well, next month it launches in Europe. Also, in not so much also in game news, Russo brothers return to MCU has been stalled because of the continued battling going on between the idiot sitting CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek, and Scarlett Johansson. So because of that, the Russo brothers may not come back to the MCU. So, good. Let's be honest, Bob Chapek sucks as a CEO. And I think he's burning Disney to the ground. But because of the way things have been handled as of late, I'm personally right now boycotting anything Disney made or owned. So I am not purchasing anything connected to Disney. That even includes Marvel Comics. Sucks, but I believe I will stick to my beliefs. But with that, back on to actual game stuff. September, or rather this month I should say, PlayStation Now games that have been added: Tekken 7, Killing Floor 2, Pathfinder, Kingsmaker, Ghost of a Tale, also Moonlighter, Windbound, which is a great survival game. Also announced over a period of time, coming this month to PSN, it was released last week on the 7th of September, Final Fantasy VII, the original version. Also coming out October the 5th for PS Now, Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. Then November the 2nd, Final Fantasy IX. On December the 7th, Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2 will be added to PS Now. And January 4th, Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. Also, get new Iron Man album, or Iron Maiden album I should say. In music news, recently picked up the collector's thing. I highly recommend checking out. The new Iron Maiden album is superb and great. And if you get a chance, really check it out. It's awesome. I love this samurai design of Eddie as well. But if you haven't checked out, check out singles like Writing on the Wall. I highly recommend it as a longtime Iron Maiden fan. But also, this past week was the PlayStation, of course, press conference thing of many trailers for new games. That's where saw the trailer for, of course, Alan Wake Remastered. Also, we got some great in-game clips and stuff of new gameplay and story elements for the upcoming God of War Ragnarok, which I'm definitely looking forward to because the remake of God of War 4, if you will, was my number one favorite PS4 game and it still is. So I'm definitely excited to see and learn more about the story and everything involved in the next God of War. Also, Marvel Spider-Man 2 teaser trailer dropped, showing, of course, Peter and Miles working together, which obviously is Venom. Though in the beginning, if you listen to the voice, the way he spoke at first, didn't sound like Venom, it sounded more like Kraven the Hunter. Also, Gran Turismo 7, which I've never really gotten to the Gran Turismo games, but for racing fans, this is definitely something to look forward to. Gran Turismo has always pushed graphics and everything such as that. Though, game-wise, play-wise, I've always been more of a Forza Horizon person. Also, for Spoken, got some glimpse into the gameplay in the world, and it actually looks really interesting. And I especially love the animation and everything about the hit sparks with the magic abilities was definitely awesome, especially with fire attacks. Also, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is basically a fantasy take on Borderlands, is the best way to describe it. Which is no surprise because we're talking about Epic Games and like Gearbox. Or, sorry, 2K with Gearbox. Also, we got to look at a supposed future remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, but given who recently announced is going to be one of the writers on this remake, I'm really hesitant and really worried, frankly, about the future for this supposed Knights of the Old Republic remake. Has me very much worried because of knowing the background behind one of the main new writers and the fact that in an interview she actually said she is not a fan of Knights of the Old Republic. And given she is an uber defender of the Star Wars Last Jedi, says enough to me about her. Because that movie is trash. It always has been, it always will be. It is my least favorite Star Wars film of all time. But I'm not going to get into it. This is video game news. But, with that said, that's it for game news. Also, quickly mentioned, got a teaser for Marvel's Wolverine. Okay. And got some looks at a few new indie games, which I'm very curious about. But with that said, definitely a mixed bag. A bit more of an unusual traditional video game news, I know, but just follow a few things and quickly mention before I end this that my review for Skylanders Imaginators will be coming tomorrow on Tuesday. I will say I'm surprised at how much so far I've actually enjoyed the game, at least gameplay wise, but I'll talk more about it in my overall review of the game. Until then, see you next time. Stay safe.